Hello, Eric. It's Saturday. It's hot outside. I just came back from, see, look. All you see is sun in my plant. It's kind of comfortable propping you against the dog bed. Have to remember that for the future. But yes, it's hot out. I just came back from my cousin's graduation party, where it was basically people my age playing beer pong and family talking. I hung out with the family. In fact, I hung out with my little cousin Benjamin, who's 11 years old, and we talked about chemistry that's considerably advanced for him, and impressive that I know. It's impressive that I know it. Like, we talked about exothermic reactions, we talked about pressure melting things, just made assorted concoctions and drank them. It was mostly watered-down root beer, but he was clever with, using a half slice of cucumber as a lime wedge on the side of it. That was cute. And we also talked about just general words, and our favorite words, some big words we knew, and first we're impressively able to spell. And I had a good time with him for 2 hours. Although it was a dimming realization of, oh, well, I don't have friends my age, do I? At least not here. So that was something. This guy was made by one of my ducklings. He's very cute. And his little tail. He was made like making a ball. I haven't named him yet. What do you think I should name him? What does he look like? He looks like a Rinaldo. How's that sound to you? Do you like Rinaldo? You don't care. What do you think? And Manga Club today is where I'm getting today's fact. I'm going to talk to you about the Yakuza, which are, they're essentially the Japanese mafia. We made gingerbread men who were supposed to look like them, with, like, tattoos, like, full-body tattoos. I forgot what it's called, but that's, one of the rituals that they do. And they do them without, they don't do the modern-day electric needle sort of thing. They do hardcore, sharpened bamboo sticks, like, in putting the ink in there. So it's long, it's painful, it takes years, it's expensive. So that's quite some dedication. And they'll wear, like, full-on bodysuits, but I just stuck with the gingerbread man vest. And they'll wear sunglasses. I was trying to make them hardcore and smoke, but the cigarette was kind of boring, so he got a pipe. But then there was a big chunk of red that came out as a blobby mouth, so I'm just assuming that his name is Sanosuke, by the way, that he was just punched in the mouth and bled all over his cravat. And then he's got the sunglasses, and this hair is called a punch perm, and that's big among the Yakuza. And what else is impressive about you? He's got a sword. And, oh yes! Can you sort of see? Oop, that just gets out of focus. Well, take my word for it. He's sort of missing his pinky finger. Because when a member of the Yakuza... I should have remember these terms, but I don't. But when a member does, messes something up, he ends up getting, chopping off his pinky. Because the theory is, from when it originated, you're using a sword, and your bottom, those back 3 fingers are going to be holding the sword, and everything else just sort of guideline sort of stuff, guiding. And so you cut off the pinky, and then if you screw up again, you cut off the middle finger, and then, or the ring finger, and then you go to the middle. And as you progressively lose fingers, your grip on your sword progressively weakens, and you suck at using the sword. And so then you have to rely more on your family, because it's a whole, like the Italian mafia, it's all about family, even though it's not literally family. But you have to rely more on your family rather than going off and doing your own individual actions where, you failed. And so that's that. What else about them? They are actually, like, very public about their stuff. They have offices, and they'll have these wooden plaques on the outside of their offices saying, their branch name, and they'll have their emblem on it. Like, they're not underground or anything. Nowadays, they primarily work in the red light district, wrestling, banking, schmoogling big corporations, that sort of thing. And they started off back in, I think, the 1700s or so, where nobody really knows the original, the origin, but there were two branches that sort of are where they came from today, or what today's came from. And those were ones that I forgot. One was like Bakuda or something like that, and the other maybe began with a Y. Or not. I don't remember. Anyway, one of them was basically the peddlers. They were the lowest of the low in the social class. They peddled illegal and stolen goods, really. And they were low. But then they started, at Shinto festivals, they would set up, like, booths, and they would, like, hire bodyguards and just guards to prevent, like, stealing and everything. And so then the government started to actually recognize them and actually let them carry, particularly the guards, carry around swords. And that was a huge step for the merchants. Because prior to that, the only people who were allowed to actually carry arms were the samurai and the noblemen. So, like, huge leap. And then the other group were they basically ran the gambling arena. And they were even lower class because gambling was, illegal. And they're kind of, they had more of that scruffy, badass sort of thing to them. So they're sort of, people just generally didn't like them, really. I mean, who likes a loan shark, really? You need them, but you don't necessarily like them sometimes. And so they're sort of where everything, including the name, comes from now. But, both of them. And that's really what I've got on that. Cheers!